What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Realms of Metal. Eddie here, back with you from my happy place, my metal room here in the woods in PA. What is going on? It is Thursday, late morning here. I am off today. I have a 4-day weekend. It's fucking awesome. And I slept in this morning. It was a beautiful thing. I got my coffee here. Like, I'm just chilling, listening to some records. And I'm gonna do a video today on love them or hate them bands. This is one I've been going back and forth with a couple people all week. We got on the subject of, which bands do you love and why? Which bands do you hate and why? There's these slew of bands that either people seem to love them or hate them, and there's kind of like no middle ground there. It's like just one of those bands that you love them or hate them. And I thought it'd be fun to talk about some of these bands, like going back and forth with a couple friends. Like I came up with probably 30 something bands, or we came up with 30 something bands all together that people seem to love or hate. So I'm going to do a couple of them today, and we'll see how it goes, and we'll talk about these bands. I'll tell you what people seem to love about them and people seem to hate about them, and then I'll give you my personal take on what I love or hate about them. And you know, I I could have done one just on new metal alone, but I kind of left new metal out of it, unless you consider one of these bands new metal, but we'll get to that. Because most metalheads seem to hate new metal bands. So that's like the consensus I got. So I'm just gonna stay away from a lot of that stuff. And I tried to do like traditional hard rock and metal bands. And so let's see what we got here. I did 6 bands today, so let's check it out. Um, let's start with Kiss. Kiss is definitely one of those bands that people seem to love or hate. Myself, I'm kind of in the middle. When I was a kid, when I was younger, I hated Kiss. Like it took me years to get into Kiss, and there's no reason why. I think just being a kid and being into the heaviest shit I could find at the time, thrash metal fan, death metal fan. I did like some hard rock, but then like I heard the Dynasty record, and like they were doing like disco shit in the Dynasty record, and that like completely turned me off to Kiss. I was like, fuck that, I'm not listening to that bullshit. Years later, I'd say probably in the late 90s I started getting into Kiss. In the early 2000s I really started to like them. And for me, their discography is very spotty. I've spoken about them on the channel here before, as they've written some brilliant songs, but again, I think their catalog is very spotty, like almost 50-50, maybe even 60-40, 60% bad, 40% good. That's how I feel about them. A lot of these old Kiss records have brilliant songs on them. Then they have like complete fucking duds on them as well. So it's a band I'm kind of in the middle with. I like them. I've seen them, a few times over the years. I didn't go see the reunion tour. There's really no need for me. I don't love them that much. But how many fucking reunion tours did they do? Who the hell knows? But what I love about Kiss is I love the whole stage persona. I love the makeup. Going to see a show like that, you're really going to see a rock and roll show with theatrics and fire and all kinds of stuff. Guys in makeup playing the part, the demon, the star child, the Catman, the spaceman. Like, how much cooler does it get than that? The whole stage personas with the makeup and the fucking outfits, and who does it better than Kiss? They were the OGs of that, right? Um, like I said, amazing songwriting at times. I mean, Kiss has written some brilliant fucking tracks. I mean, I'm not going to get into the tracks, but like just timeless tracks. But on the other side of it, they've written a lot of mediocre to bad stuff too, in all honesty. Um, Paul Stanley, he's probably one of my hard rock heroes. I have metal heroes, I have death metal heroes, I have hard rock heroes. To me, I know him and Gene are Kiss. But if you had to replace one, I don't think you could replace Paul Stanley. You could probably replace Gene if you had to, but I think Paul Stanley is it when it comes to Kiss. No Paul Stanley, no Kiss. And I guess an argument could be made about Gene too. No Gene, no Kiss. But what do people hate about Kiss? They hate the branding. Like Kiss slaps their name on so much shit and sells it, like it's like Spaceballs, Spaceballs, the toilet paper, Spaceballs, the shower curtain, Spaceballs, the flamethrower. The kids love that one. Kiss throws their fucking name and logo on everything and tries to sell it, and that turns a lot of people off. Me, I don't care, if they can make money doing it, good for them. That does not turn me off at all. Um, the mediocre to bad songwriting turns me off. Like I said, great stuff that Kiss has done, not so much on the other stuff. Um, the solo albums, people had a problem with the solo albums. They came out, what, 1978? As like a, people said it was like a publicity stunt, or, just, I think those solo albums are okay. I don't love them. I have a couple of them, but that doesn't turn me off. Uh, Gene Simmons as a person, I don't care for the guy. To be honest with you, he's like, he comes off as a very conceited prick, and I've never met him, but just some of the things that he said, especially in the past few years when the pandemic came out. I mean, if you followed him at all, you know exactly what he was saying, and don't listen to him. He don't know what the fuck he's talking about. He's not a doctor. He's not a scientist. We can make our own decisions when it comes to that shit, and whatever the government is telling you to do, you should probably do the opposite anyway. So that really turns me off about him. And like just looking through the discography, like a song like Christine 16 just comes off as very creepy to me. Like, I don't know when he wrote that song, but when he released it, he was probably in his mid to late 20s at least. That was in 1977 that they released that song. And just, it gives me creepy vibes, like a middle-aged, a young guy in his mid 20s, late 20s talking about that. I'm sure it was written from the perspective as somebody else looking at a 16-year-old girl. But me, like, with a 15-year-old daughter, that shit just doesn't sit right with me. It's just creepy. I don't like it, just, you know. So, but that aside, that's some stuff people don't like about Kiss. Some people stuff do like about Kiss. Like I said, I'm just giving my opinion here. I like Kiss, don't love them, but I think they've written some great stuff. They're an important band, and that's my take on Kiss. Let me know what you think. Do you love them or hate them? Let me know. How about Cradle of Filth? Formed in 1991 in England. They have 15 full lengths. It's kind of like black metal / gothic metal. Seems to be a love 'em or hate 'em band. It's a very trendy band. I think Danny Filth is a very talented dude. I'm not a huge Cradle of Filth fan. In fact, I don't own anything that they have. When I was a kid, I had the Principle of Evil Made Flesh, and I thought it was okay. I didn't love it. My friends and I had it. It really didn't do much for me. I do like their imagery. I like the whole vampirism stuff, the horror elements to their stuff, their evil elements, all that theme is right up my alley. But then again, their music really, is sort of not. Like, they have these, they have the symphonic stuff, and I just, I'm not into that. I've listened to some old Cradle of Filth. I haven't really listened to any of the new stuff, but it's just not something I'm into. I don't hate them, but it seems to be, again, another love them or hate them band. I love that they have a female keyboard player in the band. I think the more women in metal, the better. I really do. I think that's cool as hell. Um, you know, what do people hate? I mean, people think they're trendy. I get that. They are kind of a trendy band, hot topic band. That's the consensus about Cradle of Filth. Um, Most black metal purists don't like Cradle of Filth, and I get that. If you're a fan of the old, black metal stuff, Cradle of Filth would probably be the Kmart to that stuff, and I get why they don't like it. It is kind of trendy. Like I said, I don't like symphonic stuff. Some of their stuff is symphonic, and I just can't do that. Just yeah. Like, I've tried to get into them numerous times over the years, like just listening here or there, and it's just not for me. I don't dislike them, but I just they're a tough band for me to kind of get into. But again, you know, a lot of people like them, you know, and don't like or dislike a band just because they're trendy. I mean, like what you like because you like it. You know, that's what this music is all about. Don't give a shit what anybody else says. Don't give a shit what any of these elitist fucking metalheads say. They don't know shit anyway. They're the same guys that'll preach that they're hard as hell, but then when you're hanging out with them at like a barbecue or at a party, they're singing like Symphony of Destruction word for word, and you know all the shit that they tell you they don't listen to because it's trendy and it sucks. They know all the words of that shit. I've seen it firsthand. So like what you like because you like it. But Cradle of Filth, love them, hate them. Let me know. Next up, I had to include Metallica in on this. You know, Metallica is another one of those bands that's kind of love them or hate them. Me, I'm kind of in the middle. Um, they've got what 12 full lengths out, and you know, Metallica were my gateway. They're the band that made me a metalhead, and Justice for All is still my favorite record to this day. I've said it many times here on the channel. I take nothing away from them. Those first four records are gold. Like they're they're masterpieces, really. And you know what they've morphed into, starting with the Black Album. You know, not my favorite. I actually did a video on the modern Metallica here on the channel, just to let people know that I do like some of the modern Metallica stuff. Not a lot of it, but I do like some of it. You know, and you know what do I love about Metallica? Again, the first four records, my gateway band, and Justice for All. I got the Hammer of Justice tattooed to my arm. It's one of my first tattoos I ever got. James Hetfield is a thrash metal hero of mine, king of the down pick. Like he's an amazing dude, and you know he's a guy who I would love to just hang out with and chill and have a beer with and just rap with. He seems like he's one of those guys that you know you can just easy going and just like you and me. I always like that about Hetfield. Um, what do people hate about this band? They hate the direction after Injustice for All. I get that. I remember when the Black Album came out. I was in high school. The kids in high school who were older than us, like the juniors and the seniors who were older than us at the time, they hated the Black Album. They were saying Metallica sold out even way back when compared to Justice. And thinking back to it, they were probably right. Between Justice and the Black Album, but I embraced it. My friends embraced it. We all loved the Black Album when we were kids. So I mean, after that, it got really bad. But people hate how mainstream they've become. They went to being your band to everybody's band. That turns a lot of purist metalheads off. I get that. I kind of felt that way too. Like I didn't feel betrayed, but when I saw when Load came out and you saw that picture with all the trimmed hairdos and the black nails and sunglasses, hipster look, I could see how it turned a lot of people off. Like I was like, oh fuck, like what the fuck are we doing here? But they're branding themselves like Kiss now, which a lot of people don't like. They're putting their logo and shit on everything. And I get that. Hey, they're the biggest band in the world. They're selling their brand. You can't hate them for that. It's people are gonna buy it, they're gonna buy it. There's nothing you can do. Their fan base is completely mainstream now, and it is what it is. Go with that, with the branding, they put their thing on their brand on that blackened whiskey that they do. They're selling this whiskey now, which is kind of weird because you had guys in the bands who had alcohol addictions, so like if you had an addiction, you really want to be putting out whiskey. Like I just think that's maybe sort of hypocritical, maybe not getting anybody else hooked on alcohol, if you can help it. But it doesn't bother me, but it does bother some people. The Lulu record with Lou Reed just fucking grinds my fucking gears. I gotta be honest with you. It's so pretentious. I fucking hate that fucking record. I hate that collaboration. Um, Speaking of collaborations, Metallica, if has collaborated with fucking Lady Gaga and Miley Cyrus. Like, it makes me think that Metallica are, part of this Illuminati bullshit that's going on. I mean, Lady Gaga and Miley Cyrus, I mean, forget about it. I mean, Jesus Christ, you're collaborating with those two. I fucking hate that. I got to be honest with you. So, but yeah, aside from the things that I hate, I mean, of course I'm a Metallica fan. You know, I love the old stuff. I do like some of the new stuff, and you know, they are what they are. They're the biggest band in the world, and it's Metallica. Let me know. Do you love them? Do you hate them? What do you love about them? What do you hate about them? Let me know. Well, let's go to one. Here's one I really hate. Hate's a strong word for me. I don't hate a lot of bands, but this band I fucking just rubs me the wrong way, and that's fucking Rammstein. They were formed in Germany in 1994. They've got what 8 full lengths out. It's kind of like industrial metal slash new metal. People throw them into that new metal category. You know, I wouldn't throw them into the new metals with like a Limp Bizkit or Corn or somebody like that. To me, they're not that. They're more industrial. But I guess some people do throw them into the new metal category, which I guess I get, but I don't, you know, personally. But you know, what do I like about Ramstein? Nothing. Like nothing. Zero. Like nothing. Their music is fucking irritating. Like how they are such a big band, I have no fucking idea. I hate Lindemann. I really hate the whole band, to be honest with you. I hate their sound. I hate the imagery they put out there. It's very like, if Police Academy were remade today, you know, their music would be the soundtrack to the fucking Blue Oyster Bar, if you get my drift. And nothing against that, you know, everybody can live their lives and do what they want to do, but it's just the vibe that I get. Like, I just get a creepy kind of fucking vibe from this band that I want nothing to do with. You know, most of their shit is sung in German, and I don't speak German. So, like, I don't mind some of these black metal bands that, you know, singing whatever languages they got, Norwegian or whatever. But this band, like, singing these lyrics in German, and they're just, ooh, brutal, brutal. That's kind of my take on Rammstein. I don't like anything about them. It's one of the few bands I genuinely dislike. And, you let me know what you think. Do you love them or hate them? They seem to have a big following. I have friends who love fucking Rammstein and have went to see them live multiple times. I don't fucking get it, but you let me know. Let me know why you love them or why you hate them. Got 2 more left here. How about Dream Theater? This is a very controversial band, especially in my circle of friends. It's progressive, kind of heavy metal. Formed in 1988, Long Island, New York. 15 full lengths. Dream Theater, I've seen them live a bunch of times, and I gotta be honest with you, I appreciate their outstanding musicians. Number one, they are a band who have like perfected their craft to a T. I think the songs, just like kind of Kiss, I think some of the songs are absolutely brilliant, and I think some of them are just garbage. You know, I go back to a track like Pull Me Under. I forget if that was off their first record or second record. Pull Me Under is a brilliant track, you know, but the rest of that record just fails for me. Like I said, very talented. That's kind of what I like about them. What I don't like, I think their discography is very spotty. You know, I think they come off as a pretentious band with a pretentious fan base. I really do. Like, the times that I've gone to see them, they tried to make it like they were some kind of modern Pink Floyd with, keyboards and lights and all kinds of shit going on. It just, there's only one Pink Floyd and you ain't it, I'll tell you right now. But like I said, I've seen them a bunch, and to be honest with you, I just wanted them to be over and get the next band going. But I don't hate them. I just, it's just not a band I would go to see live. It just doesn't do anything for me. So let me know what you think of Dream Theater. Do you love them? Do you hate them? Tell me why. Last but not least, I got to put Ghost in here. Ghost is probably one of the most either loved or hated bands And I gotta be honest with you, I fucking love Ghost. I really do. I've loved them since the beginning. And they're kind of like a mix between, you know, hard rock and heavy metal, you know, much more on the hard rock side. Even later on in the stuff, it's very poppy. The songs are very poppy. And they were formed in 2006 in Sweden. They have 5 full lengths and 4 EPs out. What do I love about Ghost? First of all, I love the whole imagery of Ghost. Papa Emeritus, Tobias Forbes dressing up as the Pope. You know, to me, it's like mocking Christianity a little bit, and that's always fun, right? Uh, I think he is a brilliant songwriter. I really do. He writes amazing songs, heartfelt songs. He can get heavy, he can get slow, he can do ballady stuff, he can do faster stuff. I love his songwriting processes. I've watched as many videos on him as I could, like how he writes his songs and how he comes up with riffs and stuff like that. And I'm a big fan of Tobias Forge. I got to be honest with you. Um, the stage show, like I said, the imagery, I love all that. Almost like a Kiss, like we just talked about. I love the whole evil themes of the songs. And he's not an evil or satanic guy, but you go back to some of that old Ghost stuff, and it's very evil and satanic lyrics. And you know, I like all that stuff. Like I remember like years ago putting them on in the house, and my wife was like, "Who's this? This is pretty good." I'm like, "This is Ghost, man. You're gonna like this." And then like she started catching on to some of the lyrics. She's like, "Oh, I don't think I like this at all." I'm like, you know, he's not a Satanist for Christ's sake. It's just, you know, it's hard rock, heavy metal. You know, people singing about the devil. You know, what are you gonna do? But his lyrics do turn some people off, like my wife. But I love all that stuff. I got to be honest with you. I love their sound. Uh, you know, there's not much that I dislike about Ghost. But what people seem to dislike about Ghost is they say they're a very trendy band. They're too popular, which is ridiculous. You know, who cares if they're selling out arenas? If you like them, go see them. You know, like Judas Priest sells out arenas. Are they trendy? Are they, you know, like Jesus Christ, like what you like. You know, don't dislike something just because it's trendy. That makes you the fucking poser in my book. Uh, some people say the music is too accessible. It's too poppy. You know, I get that with the later stuff. Uh, but geez, man, I mean, I just think he's a brilliant songwriter. Like even on like Impera. I mean, Impera, the latest record, that was what, 2022. To me, that's almost a flawless record. It's so good. I had it on last night, just like getting ready for this video. I was listening to Ghost last night. And I mean, I just, you know, Kaiserion, the Spillways, Call Me Little Sunshine, Hunter's Moon. I mean, Watcher in the Sky, Darkness at the Heart of My Love, beautiful track. Griftwood, amazing. I mean, geez. Respite on the Spitalfields, like that record is, it's a later era Ghost, but I love it. It might be my favorite Ghost record, in all honesty, even out of the early stuff. Um, they say Ghost is overrated. No, I don't know. I don't think Ghost is overrated. I mean, you either like them or you don't. You know, like, are they overrated because they have a lot of fans? I don't know. Like I said, like what you like because you like it. They say Tobias Forge is a control freak. You know, a lot of the great ones are like Jesus Christ. I mean, you could say the same thing about Mustaine, and he's brilliant. He's a brilliant songwriter and musician, and he may be a control freak, but he's got a vision for what he wants Ghost to be, and it seems to be working. You know, so you can't argue with success. So that's kind of my take on Ghost. I love Ghost. I got to be honest with you. Tell me what you think of Ghost. Do you love him? Do you hate him? Let me know. So I did 6 bands here on that first video. Like I said, there's more to come. If everybody wants a second one, we could definitely do that. I had a bunch of bands to work with here, and this was like kind of fun, just going through what people like and dislike about these bands, and even me personally, what I like and dislike about them. So let me know what you think. Thanks for hanging out with me on a Thursday late morning here at the Realms of Metal, and we'll see you guys again real soon. Have a killer day.